Men over 60, a doctor explains the one simple protein rule for rock-solid independent living. Do you ever find yourself needing a real push just to get out of your favorite armchair? Or maybe you hesitate for just a second before bending down to pick something up off the floor? Most men just chalk it up to getting older, a natural part of aging. But what if I told you that for many, this growing weakness isn't starting in your muscles? It's starting on your breakfast plate? A breakthrough study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition made a stunning discovery. They found that how you spread out your protein during the day is far more important than the total amount you eat. And the biggest mistake happens right at that breakfast table. This makes me think of my patient, Robert. He was a retired engineer who came to my office feeling like he was, in his words, fading away. He ate 3 meals a day, but he had no idea his so-called healthy breakfast of oatmeal and a banana was actually sabotaging his strength. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what this mistake is. I'll explain the simple science behind it, and I'll give you a single golden rule you can use to start rebuilding your foundation of strength, starting tomorrow morning. If any of this sounds familiar, let me know in the comments where you're watching from today. And be sure to tap that like button and subscribe because you are going to want to hear what comes next. Alright, let's get right into the heart of the matter. We're going to begin with the number one mistake that is silently draining your strength day after day. Mistake number 1, the safe but starving breakfast. Okay, so what is this critical mistake? It's starting your day with what I call a carbohydrate bomb. A breakfast that is almost completely devoid of quality protein. I'm talking about that slice of toast with jam, a bowl of cereal, even the healthy kind, a simple bowl of oatmeal, or a pastry you grab on the go. Now, here is the critical mistake that so many intelligent, health-conscious men make every single morning. They think these foods are good choices because they are light, they are easy on the stomach, and they provide a quick burst of energy. They feel full after eating them. But here's the dangerous misconception. Feeling full is not the same as being nourished. It's not. For your muscles, which are the engine of your independence, that kind of breakfast is the equivalent of running on empty. It's simply not enough, and this misunderstanding can have devastating long-term consequences. You feel satisfied for an hour, but your body, your actual physical structure, is being starved of the one thing it needs most to fight back against the pull of aging. It's a quiet crisis happening on millions of breakfast plates. So why is this such a big deal? The science comes down to a crucial biological process called muscle protein synthesis, or MPS for short. This is the official term for your body's muscle building mode. To activate this mode, to literally flip the switch from breaking down muscle to building it up, your body requires a specific signal. That signal is a threshold amount of protein consumed in a single meal. Decades of research have shown that for a man over 60, that magic number is right around 30 grams of protein. Think of it like starting a lawnmower. If you pull the cord too gently, nothing happens. You can pull it gently 10 times and the engine won't start. You need one strong, decisive pull to get it going. It's the same with your muscles. If you eat a breakfast with only 10 or 15 grams of protein, it's like a gentle pull on the cord. It's simply not enough to trigger the engine of muscle growth. The protein gets used for other basic functions, but the powerful signal to build and repair it never gets sent. You've missed your window. The opportunity is lost, and your body can quietly slip into a muscle-wasting state for the rest of the morning. It's a missed opportunity that, when repeated over months and years, leads directly to that feeling of frailty and weakness. And this isn't just a theory I have. This is backed by hard, clinical data. A landmark study from the University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston demonstrated this with incredible clarity. The researchers took two groups of older adults. One group ate their protein spread out evenly with about 30 grams at each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The other group ate the same total amount of protein for the day, but they skewed it, eating very little at breakfast and then a very large, protein-heavy dinner. The results were astounding. The group that consumed 30 grams of protein at breakfast triggered their muscle protein synthesis, their muscle building mode, by a remarkable 25% more than the group who saved their protein for later. 25%. Just from changing when they ate their protein, not how much. This provides powerful, undeniable evidence that a protein-rich breakfast isn't just a suggestion, it is a non-negotiable requirement for maintaining strength as you age. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter, and it starts the moment you wake up. I know this can sound a bit technical, so let me give you a simple analogy to make it crystal clear. Think of your muscles like a construction site, and protein molecules are the workers, the carpenters, the bricklayers, the electricians. When you eat a low-protein breakfast, like toast or cereal, it's like only sending 5 or 6 workers to the massive construction site. What can they really They might walk around, sweep up a little bit, maybe move a few things around. But they cannot build anything substantial. They don't have the manpower. The site remains quiet. But when you consume a breakfast with 30 grams of high-quality protein, it is like a fleet of buses pulling up to the site and 100 skilled workers pour out, ready to go instantly. The signal goes out. The foreman starts shouting orders. Cranes start moving. Walls start going up. Real, solid construction begins. That is what muscle protein synthesis is. It's the moment the work crew arrives in full force. You are giving your body the powerful signal and the raw materials it needs to actively build and maintain your physical structure. Without that morning crew, the site slowly, brick by brick, falls into disrepair. So this is the most important part. How can you apply this in your own life, simply and effectively? The solution is what I call the 30-gram golden rule. Your only job is to make sure your first meal of the day contains at least 30 grams of quality protein. It doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Let me give you 3 simple, real-world examples. 1. A single serving of plain Greek yogurt, the full-fat kind, mixed with a scoop of a good quality whey or plant-based protein powder. That alone easily gets you over 30 grams. It takes 2 minutes to prepare. 2. 3 scrambled eggs with a slice of cheese and maybe a piece of whole grain toast. Simple. Classic, effective. Each egg has about 6 grams of protein. The cheese adds another 7 or 8. You're there. 3. If you're not a big breakfast eater, a high-quality protein shake is your best friend. 1 scoop of most powders provides 25 to 30 grams. Blend it with some milk or water, maybe a handful of spinach, and you have a perfect muscle-building breakfast in less than 60 seconds. The key is not perfection, it is consistency. Pick one of these or another option you like and stick with it. Make it your morning ritual. Let me circle back to my patient, Robert, the retired engineer. His story is the perfect example of this principle in action. His breakfast, for years, had been a bowl of instant oatmeal with a sliced banana. He thought it was a heart-healthy choice, but in reality, it contained less than 10 grams of protein. He was sending that skeleton crew to his construction site every single morning. The only change we made, the only one, was swapping his oatmeal for a cup of plain Greek yogurt mixed with a scoop of vanilla protein powder. That's it. He told me it tasted like a dessert. But this simple switch took his morning protein intake from under 10 grams to over 40 grams. He called me 1 month later. Not 3 months, not 6. 1 month. He said, "Doc, something strange is happening. I just stood up from my recliner without using my hands. I haven't done that in years." He told me his energy was more stable throughout the day. He felt more solid. That is the power of flipping that biological switch. And Robert discovered a fantastic synergy on his own. He found that if he went for a gentle, 10-minute walk around his neighborhood right after his protein-rich breakfast, the effects felt even more pronounced. He was helping to deliver those protein workers directly to the muscles in his legs. It's a small tweak, but that combination of the right fuel followed by light movement made a world of difference for him, and I am confident it can do the same for you. If that analogy of the construction site helped make this concept click for you, do me a favor and comment with the single word "build" down below. Let me know if this is making sense, alright. Now that we've established the critical importance of how you start your day, let's move on to the second major mistake I see so many men make. This one isn't about what's on your plate, it's about what's in your head. It's a mindset that is perhaps even more dangerous than a bad breakfast. Mistake number 2, waiting for the wake-up call. So, what is this mistake? It is the quiet, pervasive belief in procrastination. It's the voice in the back of your head that says, "I'll get serious about my health later." It's the thought that says, "I don't feel great, but it's not that bad yet." It is the mentality of waiting for a dramatic, life-altering event, a health scare, a bad fall, a frightening diagnosis from a doctor before you finally decide to take decisive action. It is the belief that you will somehow know when the perfect moment to get serious has arrived. And here is the fundamental, dangerous mistake in that thinking. We, as human beings, are wired to believe that we have more time than we actually do. The mistake is in viewing our strength and vitality like a bank account that we can simply let dwindle, assuming we can just make a few large deposits later on to fix it. But that's not how our bodies work. The truth is, preventing the loss of muscle and strength is monumentally easier, and I mean 1,000 times easier, than trying to rebuild it from a deep deficit. Once it's gone, the fight to get it back is an uphill battle against the forces of aging and biology. Waiting for the wake-up call is like waiting for your house to be on fire before you decide to install a smoke detector. By the time the alarm finally goes off, catastrophic damage has already been done. We think we are being practical by waiting, but in reality, we are gambling with the most precious asset we have, our physical independence. So why is waiting so incredibly destructive? Why is this passive approach the silent enemy of a long, healthy, and independent life? The reason lies in the biological reality of aging, and it has a clinical name, sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the medical term for age-related muscle loss. It's a natural process, but it is dramatically accelerated by inaction and poor nutrition. Think of it as a silent thief that begins to operate inside your body sometime after the age of 40. This thief doesn't steal a lot at once. It's too clever for that. Instead, it steals just a tiny, imperceptible amount of your strength and muscle tissue every single day. The research shows that after age 50, the average man can lose up to 1% of his muscle mass every single year, if he is not actively working to prevent it. 1%. It sounds like nothing, doesn't it? You don't feel that 1% loss today. You won't feel it tomorrow. But that is the treachery of sarcopenia. It is a process of slow, incremental erosion. Over 5 years, that's a 5% loss. Over a decade, it's a 10% loss of the very tissue that allows you to walk, to climb stairs, to carry your groceries, to get out of a chair. And this process doesn't just make you weaker. It has a cascade of other negative effects. As you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down, making it easier to gain body fat, particularly around the midsection. Your balance begins to falter because the small, stabilizing muscles in your legs and core are weakening. Your reaction time slows. This isn't just theory, it's physiology. The electrical signals from your brain to your muscles have to travel through a system that is becoming less efficient. The result is that a simple trip over a rug, something you would have easily recovered from at age 40, can become a life-changing fall at age 70. Sarcopenia is the quiet, underlying reason why a minor stumble becomes a major injury. It's not painful. It doesn't show up on a routine blood test. It just slowly, silently steals your resilience, leaving you vulnerable. And for anyone who thinks this is an exaggeration, the hard data is both clear and sobering. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, our nation's top public health institution, publishes data on this every year, and their findings are unequivocal. Falls are the leading cause of injury and injury-related death among Americans over the age of 65. Let me repeat that. Not heart attacks, not strokes, but simple falls. And the CDC has identified the single greatest risk factor for these falls. It is muscle weakness. It is sarcopenia. Every year, millions of men end up in the emergency room, facing surgeries, long rehabilitation, and a potential loss of their independence, all stemming from a fall that could have been prevented. This isn't about bad luck. It is about biology. Waiting for a wake-up call is, statistically speaking, waiting for a fall to happen. I want to offer you an analogy that I think will make this concept stick with you forever. Waiting for a fall to get serious about your muscle health is exactly like owning a car and deciding to never, ever change the oil. You can get away with it for a while, can't you? The car runs fine for thousands of miles past the recommended oil change. The engine might make a little more noise, it might not run quite as smoothly, but it still gets you from point A to point B. So you think, it's not that bad yet. I'll do it later. You ignore that little sticker on the windshield. You ignore the dashboard warning light. Then one day, you're driving on the highway at 65 miles an hour and you hear a catastrophic bang. The engine seizes. Smoke pours from under the hood. You are now stranded, facing a repair bill that costs thousands upon thousands of dollars, a bill that is 100 times more expensive than the simple, preventative oil change would have been. Your body has been flashing its own warning lights. That feeling of stiffness in the morning, that extra grunt it takes to stand up, that decision to take the elevator instead of the stairs. These are your dashboard lights, and ignoring them is a gamble. Proactive maintenance is always the smarter, cheaper, and less painful strategy than waiting for a complete breakdown on the highway of life. So, how do we fix this? How do we adopt the mindset of proactive maintenance? The solution isn't a new exercise or a different food. It is a profound, intentional shift in your thinking. You must stop viewing your health as something to be fixed when it breaks, and start viewing it as something to be actively cultivated and protected every single day. This means you must reframe the purpose of your actions. That 30-gram protein breakfast we just discussed, it's not just a meal anymore. From this day forward, I want you to think of it as your daily insurance premium for your independence. It's not a chore, it's an investment. It is a proactive deposit into your strength and freedom fund. When you think of it that way, skipping it becomes unthinkable. It would be like deciding not to pay your home insurance for a month. You just wouldn't do it. Don't wait for a doctor to tell you that you're pre-diabetic. Don't wait for a physical therapist to tell you that you have the bone density of someone 10 years older. Don't wait for that terrifying moment when your feet slip out from under you. Your green light is right now. The fact that you are here, watching this video, seeking out this information, that is your sign that the time for action is not next month or next week. It is today. I had another patient, a wonderful woman named Margaret, who perfectly embodies this principle. She started applying the 30-gram golden rule after her husband had a bad fall. She saw what he went through with the rehabilitation and she was terrified of it happening to her. About 6 months after she changed her breakfast routine, she was walking out to get her mail on a cold winter morning. She didn't see a small, slick patch of black ice on her driveway. She told me she felt that sickening, heart-stopping feeling of her feet going out from under her. But then, something amazing happened. In that split second, her body reacted. The muscles in her core and her legs, which she had been diligently nourishing every morning, instinctively tensed and caught her. She stumbled, but she did not fall. She came into my office the next week, and with tears in her eyes, she said something I will never forget. She said, "Dr. Wells, that breakfast, it didn't just save me from a broken hip. It saved me from a nursing home, and here is a powerful synergy you can adopt." Just like Margaret did, she combined her nutritional strategy with a simple, daily practice every morning. While she was brushing her teeth, she would practice standing on one foot for 30 seconds, and then switch to the other foot for 30 seconds. This tiny habit, taking up no extra time in her day, was actively retraining the connection between her brain and her stabilizing muscles, improving her balance. The combination of fueling her muscles and then challenging them, even in that small way, created a powerful synergy that literally saved her from a life-altering injury. If you are committed to not waiting another day for a wake-up call, if you are ready to start making those daily deposits into your own independence fund, do me a favor and comment below with the single word, "Today." It's a declaration to yourself and to this community that your proactive journey starts right now. So let's bring everything together. We've discovered today that the real thief of your strength isn't just the number of candles on your birthday cake, but what's on your breakfast plate. We've learned that the key is to fuel your body with at least 30 grams of protein to start your day, and that you must never, ever wait for a wake-up call to take action. But I don't want you to leave here with just information. I want you to leave with a mission. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here is your simple 3-step action plan for this week. A prescription for your independence. First, choose your fuel. Just decide right now what your 30-gram protein source for breakfast will be. Will it be Greek yogurt? Scrambled eggs? A simple protein shake? Just pick one. Second, write it down. The moment this video is over, add that one item to your grocery list or set a reminder on your phone. Make it real. And third, begin. Start tomorrow morning. Not next Monday. Not when you feel like it. Tomorrow. Now, I can almost hear what some of you might be thinking, but Dr. Wells, I'm just not hungry in the morning. That's okay. That is perfectly normal. Start with a simple protein shake. It is often much easier to drink your nutrition than to eat it when you don't have an appetite. Or maybe you're thinking, is it really not too late for me? Have I waited too long? And let me be absolutely clear on this. It is never too late to give your body the building blocks it needs to be stronger. Every single sunrise is a new opportunity to build a better, more resilient you. Please hear me on that. And remember, this small action, this one simple meal, isn't really about the protein. It's not. It is about having the strength to easily lift your own suitcase into the overhead bin on an airplane. It's about being able to get down on the floor to play with your grandkids and then get back up again without a second thought. It is about living in your own home, on your own terms, with dignity and freedom for years and years to come. That freedom is priceless. If you are ready to reclaim that freedom, I invite you to become a part of this community. A community of men who are choosing to be proactive. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what we have coming next. And just as importantly, go down to the comments right now and write to simple words, Day 1. This is your commitment. A public declaration to yourself and to all of us that your journey of rebuilding starts now. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me today. In our next video, we are going to explore the 3 common foods you might be eating right now that can make aching joints feel even worse. You won't want to miss it. Until then, I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and always remember, your best years are not behind you, they are right in front of you.